The first step to monetizing your knowledge in the creator economy is to make content that proves you are credible. The problem is, credibility is hard and time consuming to build. So most new creators look to bigger ones in their niche and they copy what they do because if it works for them, then clearly it's a credible and proven content strategy. But this is a critical mistake. The reality is, there are 3 distinct stages to building credibility with content, and when you try to skip ahead and you copy creators in further stages than you're at right now, that is actually what ends up holding you back. See, I spent the past 2 years growing a 100K audience on Instagram, monetizing 2 channels here on YouTube, and selling thousands of digital products. And what I've learned is the fastest way to grow your creator business from stage 1 to stage 3 is to create content that specifically matches where you are right now, not where you're trying to go. So in order to help you do that, first I'll break down why copying successful creators is actually slowing you down. Second, I'll show you the exact framework for what content you should create at each stage so you can actually progress from 0 credibility to monetizing your knowledge. And then finally, I'll call out the 2 most common traps that keep 99% of creators stuck at stage 1 for years. Okay, so let's first unpack why these stages exist in the first place. Before someone will buy access to your knowledge and your skills in a digital product, they need to believe you actually have that knowledge, and I think that seems logical. But that process starts way before they get to your actual landing page. See, before your audience will even consider your free content, they'll already be checking your followers and your views and your subscriber count and any visible proof that you know what you're talking about. And these together are what we'll refer to as your social proof indicators. And these indicators don't just influence whether people trust you, they literally change how people interpret the exact same content. If you imagine for a second a YouTube video titled "How to Make Your First 10K a Month," which is easy to do because there are hundreds of these videos across YouTube, but if you come across that video from someone with 100 subscribers, it feels like bullshit. But if it's from someone with 100K subscribers, now it's probably valuable advice. The information inside could be absolutely identical. It doesn't matter. One will get ignored and one will get studied. And this works in reverse too. Here is a tweet that I bookmarked from a few days ago from a big creator that simply said, "The ultimate growth hack is growing a personal brand." That's it. That's the entire tweet. It's basic advice that literally anyone could write. But it got 103 comments and 267 likes because when you have enough social proof backing you, even your throwaway thoughts get treated like wisdom. And this is why you cannot just copy what successful creators do. They're playing by a completely different set of rules. What works for them will not necessarily work for you because your audience sees different credibility signals. And so a helpful framework to make this more practical is to break this down into 3 specific stages. Stage 1 is the translator. Stage 2 is the case study, and stage 3 is the enabler. Now we'll go through each of these stages in detail, but the important thing to understand is that the stage you're in right now will determine the type of content you should be creating, and importantly, how you should position and package it so that it's in line with what your audience will accept as credible from you right now. Okay, so stage 1, the translator. This is the stage you're in when you don't have the social proof indicators that we just talked about, when your following is small and you don't get much engagement and you're not landing sponsors or working with big brands. Essentially, you have none of those signals that make people trust what you're saying. So if you try to create content about your own success or about the best way to do something in general, there's nothing for your audience to verify because they can't see the proof backing it up. And this is where most creators get stuck forever. They think that the answer is to mirror success, to act bigger than they are, and to create content just like creators in later stages do. But that actually just makes it worse because your audience can sense that gap between what you're claiming to know and what they can see that you know. See, what actually works here is playing to your specific advantage right now. You're still in the trenches with your audience. You've recently been confused about the same stuff or overwhelmed by the same problems. You clearly haven't forgotten what it's like to struggle because you're literally struggling right now as you're working your way out of stage 1. So rather than pretending to be the expert already, instead you become the translator. You study the people who are visibly successful and you break down what they're doing in a relatable way for other beginners at your same level or just a bit behind you. See, at this stage, you can believably position yourself as the relatable creator who is willing to go down every rabbit hole and to watch every video or to read every book on a subject, and then to explain it to someone who's where you were 6 months ago. This is incredibly valuable. It might not seem like it at first, but this has a lot of value because what you are doing is compressing a ton of time and effort for your audience who relates to you. And what this means in practice is that a video you would have titled How to Make Your First 10K is now instead Hormozi's 3 Principles to Hit Your First 10K, or How to Write a Best-Selling Novel now instead gets delivered as 3 Tactics Brandon Sanderson Uses to Create Irresistible Worlds. In each of these examples, maybe it's the same information, but now you're the translator. You're not trying to be the authority. This positioning and framing allows you to borrow their social proof to make your content credible. Now, most creators resist this. They think it makes them look unknowledgeable or like more of a beginner than they actually are. But what really happens when you commit to being the translator is that your content will first of all land with your audience because it is positioned at the right stage. But also as you spend time studying the frameworks and the strategies well enough to teach them, and as you apply them to your own business, eventually you'll begin to unlock more followers and you'll see more engagement and you'll gain more subscribers, and maybe you'll even make your first $1,000 or hit 10K subscribers. And as that happens, these concrete results then become your first visible social proof indicators of real verifiable progress, which means you're now stage 2 because your audience can easily see that you've actually done something that they desire as well. And this completely changes what content you can create. You can now talk about your own experience because there's something to back it up, and your audience can look at your metrics and think, okay, this person has actually done the thing they're talking about. Let's see what worked for them. In this stage, your content shifts to things like, I tried Gary Vee's content strategy for 30 days, here's what happened. Or I made my first 1 or 10K thanks to this one book. See, you still reference where you learned these strategies, but now your journey becomes the content in a more balanced way because your social proof indicators are able to give weight to that personal story. And frankly, this is what stage 1 creators need to look up to. Someone whose success they can actually see and verify, but who are still close enough to remember the struggle, right? They don't need another untouchable, unrelatable million subscriber celebrity. They need someone who's just a few steps ahead with visible proof that it's actually possible. And then as you share your stage 2 case study content, people begin to follow your version of popular playbooks, and they implement what worked for you because it felt approachable to them. And some of them will start getting results, which means you can now point to other people succeeding with your methods. And because of that, they become credibility indicators for you, which unlocks stage 3. And stage 3 is where you become the enabler. See, at this point, you have 2 types of credibility working together. First, you've built up substantial social proof indicators through your journey. You have a bigger audience with more followers and subscribers, and you have a history of delivering value to people with a library of content that has views and engagement. People clearly pay attention when you speak. And second, you have proof of testimonials and case studies that your methods work for others, not just you. And that combination is what gives you total flexibility in how you create content now. You can now make a video called How to Monetize Your Knowledge, keeping it broad and authoritative with no qualifiers needed, because people will click thanks to your social proof. And then they'll be more likely to take it to heart and to believe it because of the credible results in your own business and the transformation you've enabled for your students. Your content can now lead with student successes. For example, how my student went from 0 to 5K a month, or you can instead lead with frameworks like the 3 levels of digital products, or You can make bold claims simply saying something like why most creators will never make money. But the reason all of these can work is because you have the social proof to get attention and the credible track record to back it up. Now, the problem here for most creators is before you understand these three stages, those who are actually in stage one look up to this stage three content and think that this is the strategy that will get them there. So they try to make those same broad claims without any social proof to get people's attention and without any proof that their methods actually work. And what they're doing is copying the output without realizing that stage three content only works because of everything laid in the foundation to hold it up. As a new creator, you have to play to the strengths and the expectations of your stage right now. That is how you progress to this level of freedom that you see in stage three. Now, with that said, there are two common traps that will absolutely keep you stuck, and if you don't avoid these, you're going to waste years in stage one like 99% of creators do. The first trap is thinking that you can skip to stage two or even three because you have success or years of experience in an outside career. And I get it, maybe you were a manager or a director and hit some level of success. That does help, but unless that credibility is something that your audience can actually see and verify, it doesn't function as a social proof indicator. Now, if you ran a well-known company or product or social account on another platform, that's great. That is visible. But if it's just in your professional background, meaning if people have to trust or take your word for it, that is not the same thing. But what you can and should do is use that experience as a lens. For example, your experience could play a role in how you interpret all of those lessons that you're translating in stage one by giving you a unique filter that makes your synthesis much more valuable. But it cannot be the primary thing that you're leaning on to justify skipping a stage. Now, the second trap, and this one's way more common, is when you reach success in one metric and you mistakenly think that you've graduated to the next stage across the board. See, different metrics progress independently. For example, I built a 100K following on Instagram and I helped others do the same with my digital products. So when I started on YouTube, not only did I have the direct experience to grow my audience quickly, but I could also credibly teach audience growth from day one because I could point to my Instagram as social proof, and I could reference my courses and student testimonials to reinforce the credibility. But that didn't mean I could immediately make a video called How to Hit Your First 10K Month as a Business on YouTube. Even though I had 100K followers on Instagram, even though I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube within just a couple weeks, which did mean people began to click on my videos as my social proof increased here as well. Despite both of those being true, I hadn't actually made 10K a month from a creator business here on YouTube, which meant my early videos would have felt hollow if I didn't treat those topics as a stage one creator. The point is, you can be in different stages for different things at the same time. Say stage three for audience growth while being at stage one for monetization, and maybe stage two for building a newsletter. The mistake is thinking that any success gives you credibility for everything. It absolutely does not. But when you get that right, when you're honest about your stage and you create content that matches where you actually are, that's how you strategically grow your business. It's how you build credibility, and it's how you gain more leverage and you make more sales as a creator much faster. And if you're looking to do exactly that, you'll want to check out this playlist next, where each video I'm releasing breaks down exactly how to launch and grow your creator business step by step. As always, thank you for being here, and I'll catch you in the next one.